Welcome back to 3 Star War Strategy. Your host, Name of the Lord, here with the next war tip. We're going to talk a little bit about killing the clan castle troops, luring them, whether to lure, not to lure. The most important thing to know is I have never seen a base 3-starred without killing the clan castle troops at some point in the raid. It does not have to happen first uh, necessarily unless you are hogging the base with full hogs. Then you will need to kill the CC first. And when CC is used, the initials stand for clan castle. What you will need to do is decide whether you're going to sacrifice a spell or troop space to take out the enemy CC. So if you're going to use a spell, it will most likely be a lightning spell or a rage spell. I have seen heals used. I wouldn't recommend them. I prefer rage or lightning. And if you're going to save the spell and use it, say you want four heals for your hogs or 3 heals for your hogs, depending on your town hall level, then you're going to have to compromise the number of hogs or the number of loons that you'll be using. So you will, in essence, bring troops that are only for the CC kill. Now you can use those troops to your advantage in other ways, and I would recommend doing that. We'll see a few examples. We're going to walk through some steps, talk about it. Let's go ahead and get started. So this first one we're going to look at is a lightning spell. You're going to see, it's kind of hard to see, but he's got a couple whizzes down here at the bottom. His archer queen is here, and his barbarian king is here. And this is a La Lune attack. So the goal here is to send the kill squad, which in this case is the king, queen, and a couple wizards, straight in with the intentions of killing the clan castle troops, killing the queen, and taking out at least one air defense, if not both. Okay, so that is the goal in any La Lune attack. So what he's going to do is once he gets in range of this clan castle, which is something like this, once he breaks that barrier, the CC troops are going to begin to come out. This one is relatively close to where his troops are just busting in. So it's not going to take long for the CC troops to be on top of him. So once those CC troops, especially the witch that's in there, comes to a stop, it's about right there, he's going to drop his lightning right there. Boom. And with the splash damage, it's going to take out all the troops in this area. Any one that is missed, you're going to see the queen and the whiz clean up very quickly. So that would be the goal of using the one spell and taking out a bulk of this area before starting the attack. That leaves him just some defenses and the 3 here left, which should be good with his spells. That way he can bring more loons. So we'll go ahead and watch this, and then we'll move on to the next one. All right, so he just busted the wall. Kill squad is going in. He has a golem there I did not mention. The golem's going to take a little bit of abuse when the CC troops are beating on it. You're waiting for them, but you have got to be patient when using a lightning. And that's what the golem is there for. The queen and the wizards are not taking any hits. And as you can see, the CC troops are gone, and he now still has his golem and his king tanking, and now he's using that archer queen to take out that defense. This part is not what the video is for, but it's important to know that the lightning spell does work, but you have got to be patient with it. Okay, with this next one, I'm going to show you the importance of one troop. If the clan castle is this close to the edge, um, that means, sorry about that, that means that the radius on this thing is like clear out here. You can use one troop. If you can ever use one troop to pull the entire CC, that is well worth the investment. You don't need to do any more work. He could have sent in 3 hogs here and gotten that defense down, but that would have been a 3-for-1 trade, and it almost isn't worth it unless you have to do it. So I would recommend, if you can do a 1-troop pull, you take advantage of that. On this note, it's obvious that your CC should be much more buried. Bury your CC, make it difficult for other people to get your clan castle troops out. That would be highly recommended. Typically, war clans, that is the first thing that will be placed down when designing a base, is your clan castle in the middle, so it's difficult to get out. No need to watch the replay. Let's move on to the next one. This is a cleanup attack, so he knows where the giant bombs are. There is giant bombs, a giant bomb here and a giant bomb here that he is aware of. It might be here, but I think it's back here. So what he's going to do is in the process of luring the clan castle, he will send in a hog here, and it will trip that bomb, and he will send in a hog here. What he's trying to do is trip these bombs while pulling the CC. He's not sure if he gets it all, so he sends a couple more in. If you can trip bombs, especially if you're using hogs, always trip the bombs. If he would have come in here and just sent in some hogs, now this is a cleanup, so that helps, especially down here on this one. But you can assume there's a bomb here. You can assume there's a bomb here, and you can still go at that, try to trigger that bomb in a CC even on a first attack. So we're going to watch this. He's not sure if he's got it, so he sends in a couple more, like right in here. But better safe than sorry, as I always say. You want to make sure that you pull the clan castle. If you don't know if you got it all, send another hog. It's always worth sending one more hog. You do not want to accidentally see something pop out in the middle of your raid. So let's watch this one. All right, so Sam's going to send in a hog here, triggers that bomb, starts the lure, sends in a hog here. Oh, it was on the outside. Silly move. Don't put your bombs on the outside like that. And then he sent in a couple more just to make sure he got it all. And that's it. That's all she... Okay, here is the next one. This is where a lure can get a little bit tricky. You can see the edge of this cannon up here. It looks like the cannon is inside the circle, and if he sends in a couple hogs here, he is going to get the clan castle lure, but that's not the case. And I'm not sure if this was a cleanup or not, but as you can see, let me see if I can zoom in here. As you can see, the hogs are going to land, like they're going to stop like right here and start beating on that cannon, and it doesn't get a pull at all. So either he sees that coming, we'll give him credit and says he does. He sends a giant in here to start pulling fire from the queen and from this defense and even the mortar, while he drops in 3 hogs, I believe. He takes out this defense, and then they move into the mortar and get the pull basically perfect. It was very well done. But I think if it was a first attack, you probably should have sent an extra hog just to make sure on that cannon. And it is a lot of troop space, but you have got to get the clan castle lured. You have got to get those taken care of. So you have to do what you have to do. And if you're going to be sending in that many troops, you need to take out at least one defense. So we'll watch this real quick. Okay, as you can see, that ring around the edge, all the way around, you can see it on the bottom as well. It's just not quite in range. So he's going to send this giant. Waits for the queen to be on the opposite side. She does take the exact same path around the base as she's waiting. So waits for that queen, sends him in, and that's it. Full lure right there. Here's another base here where the lure looks tricky. He's going to go ahead and send in some hogs with a heel. Now the goal when you're dropping in a heel is to get more than the goal is to get more than just one defense, and he doesn't. He just gets the one. I'm not sure if he recognizes the Teslas that are going to pop right here. I think his goal was to get at least 2 defenses, or at least trigger some giant bombs. But I'm not sure the heal would be necessary to trigger the giant bombs. So I think he was after at least 2 defenses so his hogs would not have to path over here in this area. But that did not work. He gets 1 defense and the lure. That's great for a bunch of hogs there, but it is definitely a waste of a spell. A spell can be used. You can use the spell. Make sure you get its worth when you drop it. He still gets the 3-star in this attack, so it is not the end of the world. We'll go ahead and watch. So that's basically it on luring. I gave you a whole bunch of tips. We are going to talk a little bit about killing the clan castle troops now. Some familiarizing terms. 2-1. 2-1 is 2 witches and 1 barbarian. So if you're a town hall 8, that's what you would request. Or that's what a familiar request is for us, is 2-1. Also, if you're a town hall 9, 2-1-2, 21-2, however you want to say it. 2 witches, 1 whiz, 2 barbarians. Basically, and you'll see an illustration for sure. I've got plenty of videos on this. I'd say 95+% of our raids will have witches, whiz, and barbarians. So you're going to drop a couple barbarians just to pull the troops over and kind of distract them. Drop the witches. We'll offset them. This will all be shown. Couple whiz. The queen to back it up if you're a town hall 9. That's going to take care of any clan castle troops that can be pulled out as long as the timing is correct and you are out of range of other defenses shooting at you. So why don't we take a look at that and possibly one other CC troop that you can the troops that you can use to kill CC troops. All right, on our first example here, we're going to look at we will imagine this barbarian is not there at this point, but you can see the troops here and here making their way over to what's called an anchor. And this anchor is preferably 1 troop that is dropped in a spot that no defenses or enemy queen or anything can kill, so that the troops are being pulled over to that spot with the use of just 1 troop. Minions work great when there's no defense that shoots at air troops. And when someone has a building in the corner, those also work great. So don't ever put your buildings in the corner. This guy did not. Sometimes everything is covered by a defense, and you will have to drop in a troop, it'll slowly make its way in and get killed. Then you'll drop in another troop, it'll slowly make its way in and possibly get killed. But by that time, the troops have made their way basically to you. So sometimes you need the two troops. Do what works best for the base. Try to find a way to use just one troop if possible. So the anchor is down, the troops are coming over, and when they are about this range, you can see that from here to here, you should drop in a typical kill squad where you're using barbarians and witches to distract and wizards and queens to kill. You'll drop 3 barbarians and then a witch, all at about the same time. And then about a second later, you'll drop that second witch. And the reason for that is the skeletons are then they're brought out in alternating moments instead of all at the same time. So the skeletons will come up a second later, a second batch of skeletons will come up. Then you want to put your wizards and your archer queen behind those troops. So we're going to watch what he does here. He does not follow that process, and then we'll take a look at another one that was done incorrectly. All right, so the clan castle troops were just pulled. He just dropped his anchor, and he's going to pull out the barbarian, and he lays his his witches down correctly by alternating them. But as you can see, one has strayed off to the left. The other one is all by itself because the barbarian is gone, and he has no protection for his witches. And now they're going to die, and drops in this wizard to try to save it, but then the wizard's going to die because he has no protection. You want to make sure you're protecting your kill squad. That is the purpose of the witches in the first place. On the second one, he actually uses his archer queen as the anchor. Now, if you're trying to save on troop space, you can pull something like this off, but you need to do it correctly. In dropping the archer queen, you need to make sure that the queen is not going to stray into this area where she's going to start receiving fire from these defenses. Especially DPS defenses, such as the cannon and these archer towers, they will do some major beating on a queen. You do not want to use her ability sooner than you need to. You would like to save it for later in the raid for sure. So if you're going to do this, make sure she stays back. Okay, she does stay back out of the reach of those 2 defenses, I believe. But the troops get on the queen much quicker than they should. And he needed to drop his distraction troops sooner because he does have to use the queen's ability. You do not want the queen going down, that's for sure. So we'll watch this and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And then we'll watch the correct way to do it. So the queen is down. She does not start taking the hits from the DPS there, but the troops are there already and just now dropping barbarians, and the witches are now coming behind. He had to already use his ability, and the wizards are also late. The goal here is to get those troops in much sooner. All right, so here is an example of what we're looking for. The troops, when the troops were about here, he dropped in 3 barbarians. They got about right here before they started receiving fire. And also as soon as the barbarians were dropped, 2 witches were dropped. Right here you can see the witches, and these are skeletons and barbarians getting killed right here, which is what you want, because these troops are going to kill things. You want them to kill the ones that will do no harm. The witches, I'd like to have seen one stagger a second so that you could get the alternating skeletons popping up. But after the barbarians, after the witches, then he drops in the wizards. And he drops the wizards in behind the troops that are being shot at, in front of or on side of the witches. And the queen, I prefer the queen to go back here as well. The queen will start shooting at the troops. There's no reason to put her over here. That puts her at risk of the troops possibly coming over here and shooting at her. This works out fine, but I like to see them in a line so that the troops coming at them, they really have to work their way back. And the truth is, they never get back there. Between all the skeletons and the troops taking them down, they will not make their way back there. Also, the queen, with that queen in there, she just knocks troops out left and right. One shot is all it takes for the queen to take out any of these troops, except for the loons. We'll go ahead and watch this replay, and we'll wrap this up. Okay, so the anchor is there, and the barbarians are down. Witches are dropped very quickly. Wizards right behind them, and then the queen. And you can see this is going to make very quick work of these troops. They're all distracted by the skeletons, while the queen and the wizards are taking them out as soon as they are all locked on. Sorry about that, guys. As soon as they are all locked on, the golem, he can drop the golem without fear of the golem being taken out. So I hope you guys learned something new. If I missed something or you are still confused, please leave me a comment and I will try to figure that out. There are many ways to dispose of clan castle troops. I showed you a few. There's the back and forth technique, which I can show if I ever seen one. Our clan just does not ever use it. Bunching him up and using a loon, a technical way of doing it, but that also can be done. So I just wish you the best of luck. I hope your enemy clan castle troops go down with ease, and best of luck in your war attacks. God bless.